Okay, so I would be talking on advanced technique of fertilizers application. So first of all, I would tell the importance of fertilizer. Why had the fertilizer in agriculture? There is a big hue and cry in the country. Some people they talk that fertilizer is a zahar, and we should not use chemical fertilizers much because it may pollute the environment and may be not good for health. But nevertheless, for the sustainable agriculture, fertilizer is very essential because it provides the environmental health and economic profitability and social and economic equity. Agriculture continue to be with the mainstream of the Indian economy. Future increase in agriculture has to come from the way of increasing the productivity. And the vital role of increasing the agriculture productivity is universally recognized. Without fertilizer, we cannot have the increase in the productivity. You can see that 41% share is of the food grain production is from the fertilizer only. And I will let you know why it is important. So, fertilizer consumption has increased. Oh, yes, in some way that the statement which I have given initially that fertilizer has become zero because of the one that could be for one reason also that we are not using the fertilizer in a balanced form. We are using only one excessive use of nitrogen only, urea. 60% of the fertilizer is being used as a fertilizer. So it is in excess. We should have the proper balance of the fertilizer. So coming to the why fertilizer we should use, because they provide the essential elements and which without which the plant growth is not at all possible. So for the plant growth and for the plant high production of the agriculture as well as the horticulture, we require all the element for the plant growth. So CHO, we have not to worry about that, but we have to worry about the nitrogen, phosphorus, potash, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, and micronutrient elements like zinc, iron, manganese, copper, molybdenum, boron, chlorine, and sometime we require sodium and cobalt are beneficial elements, whereas the nickel is essential element. So why I'm worried? Why this I have chosen this topic? New technique of adding fertilizers, because there is a great concern about the nutrient use efficiency and associated causes with that. Our fertilizer use efficiency is very poor. You see that in case of nitrogen, we can achieve the maximum efficiency up to 50%. So where rest is gone into the immobilization, volatilization, denitrification, leaching, and about the, you see the phosphorus, only 20%. Fixation in the soil is there. Potassium up to 80%, sulfur, very poor, 10%. Where it goes to immobilization, leaching with the water. And micronutrient efficiency, oh my God, is very, very poor. Only 2% if we are adding into the soil, because most of the micronutrient which we add get fixed into the soil. So I think you realize that there is a great concern about increasing the nutrient use efficiency. Someone say that for the last so many years, maybe 100 years, we are using the fertilizers in a large quantity, and why we could not improve the efficiency? Because we have not care about increasing those things, because um, probably the method were costly to apply. So I will be taking one by one method which can improve the nutrient use efficiencies. So thanks to the government that they have made neem coated urea as mandatory for indigenous producer of urea to produce 100% of their total production as a neem coated urea. So great thing. Means slow release fertilizer. Otherwise, urea will get volatilized. And see that we are adding the urea in the daytime. Most of the urea is being added in the daytime. So the temperature is very high in the daytime, and then most of the urea get volatilized. Similarly, it get leached and also fixed into the soil. So now slow release fertilizer, and now there is a talk about the nano fertilizer also. So use of urea inhibitor and nitrification inhibitor decreases the nitrogen loss. So we should care about those parameters also. See that foliar application of fertilizer. It has great efficiency. If we apply the fertilizer through foliar application, uh, we get the great efficiency, particularly for the micronutrient. So I would advocate that most of the micronutrients should be added through foliar application, not through the soil. So, but there is a bit limitation that for the major nutrient NPK, we cannot add all the requirement through the foliar application. We have to make so many foliar application to meet out the requirement of the plant. Nevertheless, foliar application for the fertilizer of major nutrient will be also very beneficial. Fertigation, no doubt technology about adding the fertilizer and the water in the soil. See, you have seen that there is a scarcity of water, and the fertilizer is a very costly input for the farmer. So why should not go for a fertigation? If we apply the fertilizer through the fertigation, we get up to maybe up to 100% efficiency. So and the time of application of fertilizer and the rate and the method, all is perfect in this case. So it has a great advantage: higher water and nutrient use efficiency, eliminate the manual operation, and higher resource conservation, uniformity of application, reduce the water pollution, effective weed management, healthy crop growth. So many advantages. And disadvantages are there that it is a bit cumbersome, and we need to have a technical know how to operate these and handle those equipment which require a bit care, washing of the lateral and washing of the fertigation, all the equipment with the dilute acid is required. Otherwise, the salt get deposited into the you see this the dripper get choked with the salt. So and sometimes these pipe get torn away. So we have to take care about that. But as a whole, this system is very perfect, and very efficient. So we can achieve 95% of efficiency of nitrogen and up to 45% efficiency of almost double, more than double the phosphorus efficiency. So really a great for water and nutrient use efficiency. And these are the different component which we require for the fertilizer tank and venturi and fertilizer tank pump. Now coming to another method, that's hydroponic method. I show you this. Then I will come to the theory. See that the water is being circulated through air pump, and then it give mist on the root, give wet. The root get wet, and also this water have the nutrient solution. So the water is being always circulated near the root, and the root get nutrition. So NFT is the hydroponic growing method. See, in this we don't require the soil. That's a great advantage. You see that there are many marginal and there are wasteland in India. So those land can be utilized for production of agriculture by adopting nutrient film techniques. So this is the method growing the plant using the mineral nutrient solution in water and without the soil. So only 10% water is being used, and best for the saline and alkali soil, undulating land and barren land. Similarly, this aeroponic techniques, the roots are in the air, and it is being fed by a mist which have the nutrient through the nutrient solution by water pump, and very good techniques. In Haryana, we use it for seed production of potato, mini seed tuber. This technique is being used. So great technique for applying the fertilizer. Aeroponic. This technique, the nutrient are supplied by spraying the water containing all the essential element on the root, which are hanging in the air. After that, the root are placed in closed chamber to grow plant. You see, this is hydroponic system again. Now this is vertical gardening. Now there is a great interest with the housewife to have the gardening in their house or on the terrace or in the hotel or in the lawns or wherever we get the space for some greenery, we go for this vertical farming, and there we need hydroponic techniques to feed the plants. So what's technicality in that we should be aware about the nutrient solution, which are very essential for the plant growth. So we should know the different salt which are being available into the market, as well as their price and things like that. We should be knowing that. Also the name of the salts. So nitrogen, urea, ammonium sulfate, calcium ammonium sulfate, and also NPK, which is used for all the three elements: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash. For phosphorus, phosphoric acid; potassium, muriate of potash; sulfate of potash. And similarly for the each element, we have the different salt solutions to be added into that. And then the common range has been given here how much we should add milligram in per liter of solution, these elements or these salts. Similarly, there is a plenty of literature which is available in on the websites also, and in the packaging practices, suggesting the nutrient solution for various crops and their concentration. But one thing I'm worried about, that the nutrient solution we are adding should be have a correct pH, correct electrical conductivity, and proper nutritional value, and also the we should know the possibility of toxicity also. So we have to control the acidity by neutralizing our water nutrient solution, and you see that the maximum limit for the pH is where the maximum utilization of the nutrient is there is 6.5 to 8. So we should not have this nutrient solution which is too acidic or too alkaline. So the nutrient solution should be in this range only. Acidity we can, so similarly alkalinity or salinity we should control also. Otherwise, we'll end up with the salt injury. So we can go for a pH meter and TDS meter. And similarly, we should control the alkalinity. So for controlling the alkalinity, we can use the sulfuric acid or phosphoric acid, and measuring the high salinity in the water supply, diluted the water with the rainwater or low salinity water source from the canal, and use the RO, reverse osmosis water treatment, particularly for the seedling and salt sensitive crops. So we are having lot of protected agriculture nowadays. So we should be careful to use the nutrient solution, and for the particularly when we are growing the seedling and salt sensitive crops. So we can lower the salinity through RO, reverse osmosis process. And there is a big talk about the spraying of the nutrient through drone. There is a great task has been created to popularize the drone and its use. But as such, I have the reservation now that we should we should do the more research on the molecule which we'll be using for the because they are concentrated molecules which will be used for the fertilizer application, and also its efficacy and the time of application and the area the nutrient solution it covers. So we require more research and more recommendation on the university level or on the research institute level. So I think that covers my talk, and thank you very much for patience listening. Hello.
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 You completed, sir?
Yeah, because I should give some time to for question answer also. So should I stop sharing?
No, you. I mean, if anything is left, you can continue because you can take 30 minutes.
Okay, take 30 minutes more.
No, no, no. In total, you can take 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was a bit worried that because
No, that's
last
okay. We
time
have another 9 minutes to go.
okay, so I will explain those things which are really technically matters.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking that maybe time would be less for the question answer. So again, I will be talking. Okay.
Yeah.
So as such, we should take care of the salinity when we are using the nutrient solution. So the total TDS salt, all the salt present in the water, if should be less than 0.75 decimeter per centimeter for the plugs and less than 1 decimeter per centimeter for the greenhouse crops and less than 2 decimeter per centimeter for the nursery crop. So we should check the EC or TDS, total dissolved salts into the in the soils water solution which we are adding for the plants. So we should control the TDS. I will come again on this particular part, chemical characters. First the pH, then EC, then alkalinity, and then nutrition value, and then non-nutrition element so that they may not become toxic. So they are sodium, chloride, fluorine, and aluminum. So acidity, as I said, that it should not be too alkaline or too acidic. If we have the irrigation water is alkaline, we have to bring it down with the use of acid. If the pH is more, so acidify the water to pH up to 5.1 to 5.8, and switch using the fertilizer which have the nitrate to ammonical form when the alkalinity of the water is high in that case. So our aim is to achieve the stable medium of pH over the time. As I said before that the pH value should be from 6.5 to 8, where the maximum, you see the maximum, and the micronutrient availability though increases with the acidity, but nevertheless they are okay also. So we should have the pH usually between 5.5 maximum, and then it should be 6.5 to 8. Now salinity, I told you how we measure the salinity and the pH and pH with the pH meter, and then EC with the TDS meter. Nowadays there is a portable EC and pH meters are available in the market, and they are of the very cheap prices, less than 1,000 rupee. So you can take that and keep it with you while moving also. So very useful to measure the pH and EC, and they are portable and in a pen shape. So small in the size, and you can carry anywhere. Alkalinity, as I said, that when we have the alkalinity, that means the pH is very high. So mostly carbonate and bicarbonate associated with the sodium are present while we are having the alkalinity. So either cause of the so pH rise, alkalinity, to reduce the alkalinity, we can use the different acid. That means sulfuric acid, sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid, nitric acid we can use to reduce the high alkalinity. Need to consider the extra phosphorus, nitrogen, and sulfur in this acid, in the acid when selecting the fertilizers. So means under the alkaline condition, we should increase the dose of phosphorus, nitrogen, and sulfur so that the requirement of the plant can be met. And if the acid is changed, nutritional program to be re-evaluated. Measuring the salinity in the water supply. Managing, how we can manage, as I told you that if the water is saline, either you have to dilute the soil salinity with the use of rainwater, or low salinity water source, that means from the canal or from the or from the well which have the low salinity water content. And also I told you that we can use the osmosis water treatment, RO treatment, when we are going for particularly in the protected agriculture system, greenhouses and polyhouses. So talk about the drone also. So nano fertilizers to be evaluated for the drone, and drone techniques should be thoroughly investigated, and then we will come to the recommendation of particularly use of fertilizer with the drone. Because as such there is no many recommendation by the universities or by the institution. So they are working hard to bring more and more to bring a particular recommendation for each and every crop. So that may require some time to really follow these techniques with the use of drone. So in the end, I would like to say that the fertilizer use efficiency, which I was worried that can be really improved with the use of these techniques. That means foliar application and the fertigation, and then use of hydroponic or aeroponic, and also with the application of the fertilizer through drones and by means of and one thing which I have not talked is the, let me talk one more also. Yes. Balanced fertilization we require, when to apply, how to apply. So when we say when to apply, that means the crop growth stage of the plant. So exactly like if we require more quantity of nutrient like nitrogen, phosphorus, potash. So in particularly in case of nitrogen, we should split the doses. And for the phosphorus, as it is not mobile, so we should not go for a broadcasting of this method of particularly phosphorus. So we should go for a placement. We should place the phosphorus near to the root, which is the best technique. Otherwise, we will end up with a very low efficiency of the phosphorus. And also, integrated nutrient management will certainly help to enhance the nutrient use efficiency of the nutrient as such. Thank you very much. I think I have covered all the so. Hello.
Yes, sir. So thank you for the detailed presentation. Now I'll take up some questions. In the meantime, you can stop sharing the screen so that we can see your full video. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So the first question is, how do you help farmers on this fertilizer application? How do you help farmers?
I will advocate the farmer that, as I said in the last, that balanced use of fertilizer. That means he should go for, first and foremost thing is that he should go for the soil testing. I missed that point while in my presentation. First and foremost point for the farmer is to go for the soil testing. Then he will know that in exact detail how much nutrient he required, what type of the nutrient he required, what would be the method of the fertilizer application, and then he will be using the nutrient in a right way. So that way we can help the farmer.
Okay. Next question is, what are the current techniques for fertilizer application?
What are the current techniques?
Yes.
Techniques, yeah. Mainly people go for a broadcasting of the fertilizer, and in most of the state of India, they use a simple broadcasting of the fertilizer, or up to the placement sometime with the our seed cum fertilizer drill. But as such, farmer, they are not going for foliar application of the fertilizers, or not using the drip fertigation techniques, or the newer technique, as I said, like through hydroponic or aeroponic or through drones. So current technique, I would say that there is only one, that is broadcasting mainly, and sometime through placement.
Okay. And what about the drone application, using the drone?
As I told in my talk, that drone application could be very beneficial for improving the fertilizer use efficiency. But as such, we have to do a lot of research on that, and come to the conclusion that the weather, this statement which is being given, that it is likely to improve the fertilizer use efficiency, no doubt, theoretically. But as such, practically, we have to do many more research for a particular reason, and for a particular crop, and for a for also a new molecules which will be using for the, because these drones will be requiring very less quantity of water to be sprayed as compared to the conventional method. So we need to look those things in detail.
Okay. And do farmers adapt to new technologies, techniques easily? How is their response?
Yes, if you educate the farmer, there are certainly very progressive farmer also, which they adopt the new techniques and then they fetch the advantages. Like in Maharashtra, most of the farmers they use the fertigation. So we have the hope that they will be using. So as I say that I would advocate first thing is to for the farmer to improve the fertilizer use efficiency is going for the soil testing. So that will be really helpful for the farmer because they will have the interest in that and they will be knowing particularly which nutrient to be added and when to add it and how much to be added.
Okay. And so now we have the last question. Please let us know a little about your career background and how you got interested in agriculture.
Okay. I thought you will be explaining those things. I'm basically from a middle class of town that is Hisar, which have the Haryana Agriculture University, and we had the land also. So I had an interest in agriculture to take the admission, and then I got the admission in BSc Agriculture. And from this platform, I would really tell you I'm very complacent to choose this career because this career has given me a large opportunity. I traveled many countries and become a famous scientist by doing MSc and PhD. PhD I did from Australia, University of Western Australia, and that too with a very prestigious fellowship, that's Commonwealth Fellowship. So I'm delighted to have this degree of agriculture and practicing agriculture and advocating good techniques of agriculture to the farmer. Really, I'm happy to work in this field, and I would say that one thing more that farmer they are losing a interest for adopting the agriculture because they don't want their children to get to be into the agriculture. But as such, I would certainly advise them that if they go for a scientific agriculture, there is a good scope. And but we have to educate ourselves that what are the best techniques to be used in agriculture so that we should uh, fetch the good prices and good production with of course in encountering with the great problem of agriculture which we feel face in the field.
Okay, that's very good to know. So let me check. Okay, Dr. Vijay Kumar, I don't see any more questions from our participants. So now we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we like to thank you for the detailed presentation and answering all the questions. And we also like to thank all the participants for joining this meeting. The meeting will now be closed.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're most welcome, sir. Thank you.